What if the most revolutionary thing a pop star can do isn't to get louder? What if it's to get quiet? So quiet, you can finally hear the truth. Picture this. A room that smells like old wood and bourbon. RCA Studio A in Nashville. The ghost of Dolly Parton and Elvis in the walls. There are 2 microphones. Not 20. 2. Into one. A voice like polished glass. A porcelain falsetto that has cut through the noise of the world's biggest stages. Zayn. Precise. Ethereal. Almost painfully beautiful. And into the other, a voice like cracked leather and Tennessee whiskey. A voice that has lived 100 lives and carries the weight of every single one. Chris Stapleton. Grounded. Honest. Unbreakable. There are no click tracks. No auto-tune. No army of producers. Just 2 artists from different worlds, staring each other down, agreeing to tell the same story. This isn't a headline grab. It's not a marketing stunt designed to game the algorithm. It's a referendum. A test. A referendum on what we even call real anymore. Could one song, recorded with this much integrity, be the move that finally makes the industry listen again? Not just hear the noise, but actually listen? That's the question. And the answer, well, the answer changes everything. Chapter 1, The Blueprint. When I say changes everything, I don't mean it as hype. It's not a grenade. It's a key. A key that unlocks doors that have been painted shut for artists like Zayn. The door to the Grammys' main stage, not just a genre category. The door to critics who dismissed him as a manufactured product. The door to a legacy that outlasts the trends. Zayn is in his quiet era. His room under the stairs era. He's choosing texture over volume. Soul over spectacle. And Chris Stapleton? He doesn't just live in that world. He is that world. He's the patron saint of songs that breathe. When you put them together, you're not chasing a sound. You're not trying to create a country pop crossover hit. You are creating a new lane entirely. A third way. Today, we're going to build this song, piece by piece. We'll map out the voices, the room, the lyrics, the rollout, and the one surprise move that makes it undeniable. And it all starts with a simple question of physics. How do 2 voices that shouldn't work together create a perfect lock? The answer is the secret math no one is talking about. Chapter 2, The Harmony Math. Think of their voices like elements. Zayn's voice is mercury. It's quicksilver. It can be a liquid pool of emotion or a razor-sharp edge. It's the high, clean frequency that cuts through the fog. Chris Stapleton's voice is iron. It's foundational. It has grit, warmth, and an immovable center of gravity. It's the low, rich frequency that you feel in your chest. Pop music today loves to stack similar voices. It's safe. It sounds clean. But legendary music is built on contrast. Think Johnny Cash and June Carter. Robert Plant and Alison Krauss. When these 2 voices meet, one doesn't overpower the other. They create a new, third texture. Here's how it works in the song. Chris takes the first verse. He sets the scene, his voice low and confessional. He's the anchor holding the ship in the storm. He makes you lean in. Then, for the pre-chorus, Zayn slides in. His voice is close-mic, intimate, like a secret being whispered in your ear. The clarity of his tone is a stark, beautiful contrast to Chris's gravel. The tension builds. And then the hook. The chorus. They stack. Chris holds the root note, the foundation. Zayn takes the 3rd or 5th harmony and just lets it float above. That signature falsetto acting like a silver thread weaving through a dark fabric. It's not a belt. It's a lift. It creates a feeling of melancholic hope. Goosebumps. Every single time. But these voices are only as good as the space they're in. A sterile, digital studio would kill this vibe instantly. They need a room with a soul. In a moment, I'll reveal the exact room where this alchemy happens. A place so legendary, the walls themselves have platinum records. Chapter 3, The Room Where It Happens. Modern pop music is built in a digital cage. Every sound isolated, perfected, polished until it has no flaws, and no humanity. This song can't be born there. It has to be born in Dave Cobb's world. RCA Studio A. Cobb doesn't eliminate the imperfections, he frames them. He wants the sound of the pick hitting the string. He wants the slight bleed from the drum mic into the vocal mic. He wants the sound of the room itself, the air moving between the musicians. A producer once said, "Perfection is the enemy of soul." That is Dave Cobb's entire philosophy. When you put Zayn in that environment, something magical happens. The pristine, almost otherworldly quality of his voice is suddenly grounded in reality. You hear the breath he takes before a note. You hear the subtle shift in his proximity to the mic. It proves the voice isn't a studio trick. It's real. For Stapleton, it's his natural habitat. He thrives where music is a conversation, not an assembly line. This room tells the listener one thing, loud and clear: we are not faking this. What you are hearing is the truth. You're not just a listener anymore, you're a witness in the room with them. But a perfect room and perfect voices are nothing without the right words. 5, to be exact. The 5 words that will anchor this entire movement. Chapter 4, the song that stays. The song isn't a country song. It's not a pop song. It's a soul song. A country-soul-noir. The title, Stay True. The theme is simple, but universal. The quiet battle to remain yourself when the world wants you to be someone else. To choose the hard, honest path over the easy, fake one. The music is sparse. A walking bass line. A Hammond organ breathing in the background like a soft light. 2 electric guitars, one clean, one with a slight tremolo, weaving around each other. And then the chorus. It lands like a quiet prayer. Chris starts, his voice full of weary strength, "Stay true," when the world is screaming lies. Zayn answers, his voice a plea, full of fragile hope, "Stay true," when the silence cuts you dry. Then, together, a powerful, unified declaration. Zayn's harmony lifting Stapleton's lead, "If the road gets cold, I'll carry the flame for you." And the final tag, a whisper, "Stay true." That's it. No explosive drop. No EDM fireworks. The power is in the space between the notes. The raw emotion in the delivery. It's the kind of chorus that gets stuck in your heart, not just your head. Now, you have the song. The perfect song. But in 2025, a perfect song can die in 24 hours if you release it wrong. So how do you make the world pay attention? You don't fight the algorithm. You starve it of what it expects. Chapter 5, the slow burn rollout. The industry playbook says, hype, teasers, TikTok dance challenges, a surprise drop at midnight. We throw that playbook in the fire. You give this song oxygen, slowly. Step 1, the image. A single black and white photo posted by both artists simultaneously. No caption. It's them in the studio, looking at each other, not the camera. The internet will melt down. Speculation is more powerful than any press release. Step 2, the snippet. 1 week later. A 15-second video. It's raw iPhone footage from the studio. You hear them workshopping a single harmony. You hear Cobb's voice in the background. Try it again. It feels like you're spying on a secret. You are proving the process is real. Step 3, the release. The song is released with an acoustic B-side. The studio version is for the world. The acoustic version is for the purists. You feed both audiences at once, showing the song is strong enough to stand on its own, naked. Step 4, the moment. You skip the late-night talk shows. You turn down the flashy performances. You book one thing, a performance at the CMA Awards or the Grammys. 2 stools. 1 microphone between them. A single spotlight. You create a moment so powerful and so real, it becomes the only thing anyone talks about for a week. This strategy isn't about going viral. It's about becoming permanent. But with any bold move, there are risks. Genre purists, cynical critics, and a public with a short attention span. What if they try to tear it down? Chapter 6, Risks, Counters, and the Surprise Weapon. Risk number 1, the gatekeepers. The "he's not country" crowd. The counter, you don't pretend he is. This isn't Zayn in a cowboy hat. This is Zayn bringing his soul to Nashville. The collaboration isn't about genre bending, it's about mutual respect for songwriting. The authenticity of the music is the only defense you need. Risk number 2, collab fatigue. Another forced collaboration for streams. The counter, scarcity. It's one song. Not an EP. Not an album. One perfect track. It makes the statement and then disappears. It's an event, not a campaign. Risk number 3, the tabloid hijack. The media will try to make it about drama, about Zayn's past, about anything other than the music. The counter, you flood the narrative with craft. Release behind-the-scenes footage of the songwriting process. Post pictures of the lyric sheets. Talk exclusively about the music. You make the process so transparent and so beautiful that the tabloid narrative looks cheap and boring by comparison. But then, you deploy the secret weapon. The move no one sees coming. 1 week after the song is released, you drop a field recording version on YouTube. It's the same song, but it was recorded on a front porch at dusk. You can hear crickets. You can hear a distant train. At one point, one of them chuckles after a line. It's imperfect. It's real. And it completely reframes the song. It's no longer a product. It's a piece of life. It's the move that silences all critics. And just when everyone thinks they understand the song, you reveal the part that breaks them. The bridge. Chapter 7. The bridge that breaks people. The band drops out. All you hear is a soft, heartbeat-like kick drum and a single shimmering guitar chord. The bridge isn't a performance. It's a conversation. 2 men dropping their armor. Chris asks the question we've all been afraid to ask someone we love. If I build these walls too high, will you still see the man inside? Zayn responds, not with an answer, but with a promise. A fragile, breathtaking vow in his highest register. If you lose your guiding light, I'll learn to love you in the dark. And then, for one line, the music goes completely silent. Just their 2 voices in raw, perfect unison, a moment of devastating clarity. We didn't come this far to be polite. The band crashes back in. The final chorus hits with 10 times the emotional weight. That's the moment that trends without a hashtag. That's the lyric that gets tattooed on people. It's the emotional core that makes the song immortal. It's the moment you recreate at the award show, the 30 seconds that will be clipped and shared 1,000,000 times, melting timelines for days. Chapter 8. The Final Reckoning. So what has changed? For Zayn, he escapes the gravity of the pop machine. He proves, once and for all, that he is not just a world-class voice, but a true artist with impeccable instincts. He earns a new kind of respect, the kind that lasts. For Chris Stapleton, he acts as a bridge. He uses his unimpeachable credibility to welcome an artist from another world, and in doing so, reminds the entire Nashville establishment that soul is soul, no matter where it comes from. And for us, for the listeners, it's a reminder, a proof of concept, that a song doesn't need to be loud to be powerful. That vulnerability is more compelling than bravado. That real musicians, in a real room, making real music, is still the most potent force on earth. This collaboration wouldn't just give us a great song. It would shift the landscape. It would give other artists permission to take risks, to slow down, to be true. It doesn't chase the culture. It resets it. 2 artists. 1 room. 1 promise. Stay true. Final reflection. Now, I want to leave you with a question. We've mapped out the perfect, soul-driven collaboration. But there's another what-if that always lingers, a reunion with Taylor Swift for a vault track. So here's the debate. For long-term credibility and resetting an artist's narrative, which move is more powerful? A. The unimpeachable classic, this collab with Chris Stapleton. B. The cultural event, a blockbuster reunion with Taylor Swift. There's no wrong answer, but I want to hear your reasoning. Drop your take in the comments below. The most thoughtful, sharpest argument gets pinned. And if you believe that music with this kind of soul still matters, hit that subscribe button and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Let's prove that the quietest revolutions are often the ones that echo the longest. Thanks for watching.